ever been unhappy or had a problem with any kind of service in Australia? Maybe you got an infection from the hospital. Maybe the electricity company charged you too much. Or maybe a staff member was rude to you. Did you know that in Australia it is okay to let an organisation know that you are not happy with their service? In fact, it is important to let them know about your experience. This short video will help you understand feedback and complaints, that it is safe to complain and that most services want to hear from you. By the end of this video, you will have more confidence to tell them that you are unhappy with their service and to ask them to make it better. Government, business and community organisations in Australia want and expect that customers will let them know what we think and feel about their service. For example, they want to know if their product, something we use, did not work properly, or if we received the wrong advice, or if somebody treated us unfairly. Organisations also like to know when things did work well, and this is called giving feedback. When we give feedback, we can say that we are happy with a service, or we can say that we are unhappy with a service. Feedback is simply information from us, good or bad, that helps organisations to improve their work. Any government service, such as a public hospital or the Department of Transport or Centrelink, needs to hear what we think about them if they have made a mistake or caused a problem. Feedback can be positive or negative. An example of positive feedback would be giving a compliment to the staff about their service. Feedback can also be negative or critical about the service. This type of feedback is called a complaint. When something goes wrong with a service, it is important to let them know by making a complaint. Most organisations want to improve so they can provide better services or products to people. If they make a mistake, they want to know about it so they can try to fix it and not repeat it. For example, a complaint can help an organisation understand that they should provide information in your language. Making a complaint can feel scary or uncomfortable. Most of us don't like to complain, but in Australia, it is your right to complain. It is part of the democratic process to have both rights and responsibilities. A right means that we can expect fair treatment. It also means we can expect any service, whether we pay for it or not, or products and items to work properly. In Australia, it is safe to make complaints to government services and also to private businesses. Your complaint will not mean that organisations will no longer serve you. Your complaint will not affect visa status. Your complaint will not result in punishment of any kind. That would be against the law. You do not have to tolerate poor service out of fear of any negative consequence. Australian organisations must listen to your complaint, and no bad things will happen to you if you make a complaint. How can we give feedback or make a complaint? Feedback and complaints can be given in person by explaining calmly, face to face. And you can ask for an interpreter if you wish. And you can also ask for somebody to come with you for support. Feedback and complaints can also be made by telephone. Again, you can ask for an interpreter. Many organisations are able to provide an interpreter at no cost to you. Feedback and complaints can also be given in writing, by letter, email, or an online form. The websites of most organisations have a feedback and complaints section with instructions on how to complete an online form. Or we can telephone, email, or write to the organisation's complaints officer if they have one. Here is the story of Minoti and the dentist to explain how she made a complaint. A young woman named Minoti had a very painful front tooth. She went to the government dental hospital. The dentist spoke to Minoti very quickly and she found it hard to understand him. The dentist removed her front tooth. Minoti then had a gap in her front teeth for more than 2 months. She felt very embarrassed and upset. An older woman at her church suggested she make a complaint to the dental hospital. They went together to the hospital and asked a receptionist to lodge a complaint saying that the dentist had not properly explained the procedure to Minoti. After 2 weeks, Minoti received a letter from the dental hospital saying that the dentist said he had explained properly to Minoti and that his advice to her was that only a private dentist could provide an alternative treatment that also included giving Minoti a replacement tooth. However, the hospital was not able to find the record of the informed consent that Minoti would have given to allow the procedure. The dental hospital receptionist gave them the phone number of the Office of the Health Ombudsman, who could provide an independent investigation, and told Minoti that it was very important for her to make the phone call using an interpreter. Minoti phoned a translating and interpreting service and asked for an interpreter in her language. When an interpreter was available, Minoti gave the name and phone number for the Office of the Health Ombudsman. The interpreter connected to the Office of the Health Ombudsman and, with the help of the interpreter, Minoti explained her problem. Once the Ombudsman's office had agreed to look into the matter, Minoti waited to hear back. They later contacted her for more information and specific details and spoke to the dentist as well. The Ombudsman's office looked at the clinical situation independently with the help of an interpreter. After speaking with both Minoti and the dentist, the Ombudsman's office assisted them to resolve the issue together. The dentist offered Minoti an apology and treatment to fix the error at no extra cost. If the organisation is not able to fix or resolve the problem, or we are unhappy with their treatment of the problem, there is a list below this video with telephone numbers and links to third parties. A third party is an independent organisation who can investigate on our behalf. Examples of third parties are Ombudsman, the Human Rights Commission, the ACCC, depending on the type of complaint. Minoti's complaint was successfully resolved. Sometimes our complaints cannot be resolved. The Australian system welcomes our complaints, but it is not perfect. Yet, it is important to speak up and have your say. This is the main message of this video. If more of us speak up, make complaints and give feedback, then more Australian organisations can be educated to understand how to help you better, including how to make it easier for you to make complaints. It might be challenging for us to make a complaint, but remember it is important and it is safe to say it.